Are you saying I paused to pull a set of finger guns from my pockets? That it's time to duel?
Oh, brother!
Yeah, I'm the worst person in the world. As poetic as a nursery rhyme. And you still want me but the tingling ache left behind holds my attention. Hello everybody, I'm Degenerate, and welcome back. Probably for the last time. First bite. We're going to be finishing, we're doing Laurel today. So, yeah. Before I even start, if you hear noise, music in the background, I can't change that. That's not my responsibility, so. It's whoever's upstairs. Please do not crucify me. Alright, this is literally the beginning. Right, like, let me see. Yeah. Forms of imprisonment. How interesting. Oh, God, why am I already scared? Okay. Jesus. Laurel tells me to walk, so I walk. I climb the stairs with him on my heels, itching with fresh nerves under electric pressure of a predator at my back. We walked first? Why? Like, why were we in front? Now that we're alone, now that it's really happening, I'm shakier on my feet than I would have thought. Don't lose your nerve now. You survived a bloodthirsty interrogation, so you can survive this. As well as 2 other deadly people. Sexy immortality hangs just within reach. Reach out and grab it.
Welcome to my wing of the house.
It's kind of dark in here.
Please, after you.
Why is it so dark in here? I inch 1 foot over the threshold, hesitating as I glance back over my shoulder. Why am I so scared? What the heck? With a style like that, they're a mall goth's wet dream. I definitely get the appeal.
What are you waiting for? I'm not one for repeating myself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh shit, right. They may not be flashing their fangs, but I'm not exactly safe here. A little fear is good for the soul, right? I edge my way inside. Oh, it's actually quite normal in here. I thought it was gonna be scary. That corner looks rather interesting. Immediately the door clicks shut behind us. Laurel moves further into the bedroom, gliding across the floor with a dancer's grace. I linger against the doorframe, suddenly wary as they take up position behind an ornate chair. There's stilettoed black manicure curling over its glided back. What's this? A few minutes ago you were overflowing with wonder, with excitement.
You wanted my attention, and now you have it.
Stop it. Don't tell me you're worried now that you're trapped in my creepy lair. It's not actually very creepy in here. It's actually quite interesting. Hoping we're really alone now. I'd prefer the door left unlocked. What? Let's, I guess, do that one? Hoping we're really alone now. Privacy is important. I'm afraid you've picked the wrong haunted house to break into if that's true. We don't keep many secrets between us. My Ilian Val.
Or rather, I should say, they keep none from me.
Right. I didn't break in. The door technically blew open. I remember, I'm not stupid. I nudged an already slightly ajar door wider open. Laurel huffed, sizing me up. I returned the attention, my appreciation jumping from that tight leather harness to those nails again. Wowzers! Imagine all 10 of those sharpened points teasing my skin, threatening to draw my irresistibly sweet blood. A full body tingle overtakes me where I stand. Peculiar and reckless.
At least you're not boring me yet.
Good. I wouldn't dream of it. Laurel. Oh god, this is gonna be so difficult. Laurel eyes me with an air of inevitability, nails tapping a hypnotic rhythm against gold filigree. I told ya, please excuse the noise. I chose the wrong time to record.
Come here then. Have a seat.
I'm sat. I nod once, nothing hard about that. Up close, the chair is dingier than expected. Golden paint peeled from its carved wooden armrests. I sit down and instantly tilt my head back. I want to see him, and my eyes meet Laurel's as they loom into view. Their reversed mirror, their lips hovering in my sightline.
You're a feast for starving eyes, I'll admit.
Huh? I grin, a burst of confidence adding a hooded flirtiness to my stare. You do think I'm hot. Laurel considers me with a pitying gleam, one that says I don't quite get it yet.
Now, I wouldn't go that far.
So mean. Rude.
However, would your tongue still waggle if I didn't think you had potential?
Your face. I gulp. Aware again that yes, I do have a face. And yes, my tongue works, though it's starting to feel heavier than usual. I run the tip of it along my lips, drawing Laurel's eyes in the process. Ah, look at that.
I'll say that I find appeal in the harmony of your features.
That's such a weird way. There's a certain eloquence to their structure. You're legible, but you're not elementary. I blink a few times. Wow. I don't think I've ever heard a compliment like that before. And I'm not sure I 100% understand it. The look on their face says that's not news to them. I've had plenty of time to play with language.
A lot of time, a lot of languages, and a lot of people eager to taste what my tongue can offer.
Okay, now that feels like a hot lava injection straight to the gut. All the steamy paranormal erotica stored in my head will never compare. What you can offer? Why are we like so stupid? As in partners? Oh. I feel their smile as an encouraging caress, like the invisible press of a hand at the small of my back, urging me onward. Of a sort. Oh, yeah, this is promising. At least a lot more promising than fangs at my neck.
And
well,
what about you?
Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I cough, squirming in the chair. It's not that I'm inexperienced by human measures. Also, not to toot my own horn, but I do pretty well when I put my best foot forward. Lies. My vampiric standards, on the other hand. You don't have to worry, I know what I'm doing. Oh no. Laurel levels their most intense gaze yet. Do you? It's like staring into the sun, looking up from within their shadow. I have this urge, this compulsion to speak under their enchanting gaze. A feeling that starts in my chest and bubbles up through the walls of my throat. Call it a demented form of acid reflux, I guess. Peculiar, that's fair. You don't end up in my line of work without being a little eccentric.
Your line of work?
Being an AO3 writer. I run a website for all things paranormal. It's pretty popular, you know. It's kind of a big deal. Laurel laughs at and it's such a rewarding sound that I barely notice the cold fingers playing with my throat.
Will you write about me on your blog if you survive, little rabbit?
I'll do whatever you want. Survive? I was hoping to do more than that. There's this silence, this quiet that feels intentional, pointed. Like I'm being trained to wait. The thought dislodges a fluttery feeling from somewhere between my ribs.
The night is young.
The night is still young. Let me stop. The look he gives me feels like the final beam in a burning house collapsing.
Let's see how it grows.
Okay. Laurel steps away from me, leaving me cooling in that chair. I watch them pull a desk drawer free and begin fishing around inside with consideration.
I'm a bit of a collector, I should say.
Oh crap, what do you collect? Butterfly specimens, rare yarn fibers, trading cards, stamps. No.
Once
That's
upon
normal.
a time, there flourished quite the market for those little suckers. Stamp exchanging made for easy victims by way of the Sunday classifieds.
I'm just listening at this point. Ads in local newspapers makes sense. Before internet forums, they were one of the few ways to find a fellow eccentric. Kind of genius to turn them into your own personal feeding ground. Wait, you mean to say playing cards, right? You meant to say playing cards? In the living room, Laurel looked every bit the poker pro, gearing up to play a winning hand before I interrupted. I can't imagine them schooling nerds with a meticulous customized deck.
I always say exactly what I mean to, sweet one.
Okay. And I meant the cards used for dueling. I blink repeatedly. Magic? Or monsters? They don't miss a beat.
Monsters, obviously.
You mean Pokemon? Do I look like the type to brandish a wand or wizard hat? You're messing with me. They shrug, obviously pleased by my inability to compute. I struggle to imagine Laurel slamming a Purple Eyes Grey Dragon card and nearly rupture several brain cells drying.
I might be. Who can say?
Now, let's play, shall we? We're gonna... Okay. I don't bother stifling my grin. Even if it's not a great idea to tease a vampire. Are you saying... I paused to pull a set of finger guns from my pockets. That it's time to duel?
Oh, brother!
Yeah, I'm the worst person in the world. Score one for me. No. I blow smoke from the tips of my fingers and faux reholster them. As I see the hint of amusement, no matter how hard they try to keep their cool. How many people can brag about nearly reducing a vampire to giggles?
I'm saying hold out your hands. 2 sets are needed to get a good round going.
Okay. When they slide the drawers shut, they do so with a fresh loop of purple yarn draped over their knuckles. Laura rounds on me then? Huh? Wait, yarn? Leather rippling against lean thighs with each stride. Piercing one stompy lace-up boot on the spindle, joining the front legs of my chair. The vampire holds their palm out to me. I give both of mine in return. Head empty, I watch as they wreath my hands in purple string, the color vivid against my skin. Oh, are we doing that thing with the string or whatever? I forgot what that's called. Is it like, it's like a thing where you like, you have your hands and then you keep until it, I think, comes apart. I don't know. I don't know what that's called. First, they guide my middle finger under the purple segment, hugging the inner wrist of my opposite hands. The tenderness of their chilly touch surprises me. Then Laurel repeats the action with the other wrist and middle finger. Satisfied with the new placement, they pull my hands apart without warning. I shiver when the string snaps taut, my palms raised like twin goalposts. The pressure of Laurel's fists around my wrists as they study their work grounds me. Huh? Yeah. I think. Together we admire the purple yarn sculpture, now levitating between us like some sort of modern art installation. I can't pinpoint why my heart's racing so fast, but the sneaky gleam in Laurel's eyes has my body thrumming with anticipation in a matter of seconds.
Ever heard of Cat's Cradle?
Is that what that's called? Oh, okay, yeah, it is. That is what that is. It's called Cat's Cradle or whatever. Why did I participate in that when I was younger? I don't get it. Cat's Cradle, I glanced down. Alright, the kid's string game. Yeah. Kids game? Yeah, it's a kids game. I played when I was a kid. Hence, kids game. I stare back at them, unsure why they seem so unimpressed.
Like me, the game is older than it looks.
Okay. My fingers start to bend as they pinch two intersecting cradle points and fold the string down and around itself. Called Ayatori by Edo period lovers, Hei by Hawaiian chanters. I'm gonna say this is Seichia by my very own mother. I feel like that ended silent. The game of string figures has been played far longer than you and I have been alive, little morsel. You learn something new every day. How long would that be exactly? Laurel rolls their wrists within the purple cradle and I release my hold. The string snaps smoothly into a new shape around his fingers. I grin. Cradle transferred.
Have a guess.
I'm gonna say thousands. Oh no. 35 years? You're stupid. That's like the worst choice. At least 200? Over 9,000. Oh my gosh. Should I? That one is a little comedic. Just a little bit. But I feel like that's a Dragon Ball joke though. So why would I make a Dragon Ball joke? That's nothing to do with like card games or Pokemon. So just do this one. At least 200 years? Am I right?
You see the vast gully between us, do you?
Yay! A certain qualia? Okay. Known only to the long-lived. I squint trying to recall the meaning of the word, but ultimately failing, so I guess. Qualia? Like a quality? They nod down at the string between us. Something like that. An idle moment passes before they speak again.
This is the first figure, the game's namesake. The Cat's Cradle.
Okay. Your turn. Oh, right. I know the basics, lots of twisting and bending until one player loses the plot. But the artful symmetry of it, not my art of expertise. I never understood this game either. Whoever did it with me, honestly, they just told me how to do it. I think. Because I was always like, what am I supposed to do now? I can feel Laurel assessing me, watching where I pinch the string next. I reached for two obvious points of convergence, two purple junctures that felt safe. Interesting selection.
You're more cautious than one might expect of a free meal.
Huh? I hooked my beakies in after reaching deep for a sense memory. The ghost of a cat's cradle match I once played suddenly guided my moves. Not free. I squinted with focus. Losing isn't an option. The transfers go to land. I want things too, remember? Laurel laughs, untangling their fingers with ease. The string dangles from my knuckles.
Yes, you want to fuck, haven't forgotten
I
that.
don't know about dying. I don't know about the dying part. My cheeks get all hot as I tug the string into a new formation between my palms. No fucking, just die and rise. Fucking die and rise again. I want a death that suits me. Huh. That suits me. Is this the choice again? Like the friends option or whatever? Oh wait, that's this one. So let's do this one. Can die, yeah, and rise again. I see.
It may surprise you to hear you're not the first to court our grand exit.
Sex is simple for me, a balancing force in my day-to-day.
I can mine pleasure from the depths of your fragile little throat. Indulge in the fleeting quality of your skin.
Especially fun to break the breakable when you beg so sweetly to be dismantled. The flummoxed honking of a petite mort never fails to entertain me. But depending on what churns inside that unusual mind of yours, you may become the first I've sired in an age or two.
What kind of life do you think awaits you beyond the bite? What will you do with your newfound gifts?
What'll I do? See how far I can throw a truck. Bro. That's like an Ilyas answer. Execute a convoluted web of machinations? I don't know what that says. Bang my ex like a screen door in a hurricane? I don't know, whatever you three do. What? I'm gonna pick it. Bang my ex like a screen door in a hurricane.
Well, not what I was expecting, but let's explore this.
Would you say you're driven by a preoccupation with the past? Uh-oh. I want to blow their mind. I want them obsessed with me. Let's blow their mind. I just want to blow their mind one last time. We used to be close, but now we're the regular kind of far apart. The human kind. I want to knock on their window in the middle of the night and show them just how out of reach I've become. You know, climb inside and take them for a ride they'll never forget. Just one though. Love them and leave them.
That's what you want. To show off and move on.
We broke up for a reason. Will I miss them? Maybe a little. The way you miss nap time in kindergarten. I wouldn't turn back time just to lay down between stacking blocks and empty juice boxes. I liked nap time. It was the best time of the day. I can nap whenever I want now, and as a vampire, there'll be lots of cool new vampire buds to have fun with, right? Starting with the three of you. I'm the Rizzler. I want to run for days and never get tired. Skim the bottom of the Marana Trench naked. Whoa. No wetsuit, no scuba gear, nothing.
We're still vulnerable to atmospheric pressure, you know.
Oh, really? A technicality. Listen. When most people say I want to know how the other half lives, they're talking about gazillionaires. When I say it, I'm talking about mermaids, dragons, werewolves. You. Laurel tests the firmness of my hold on the string with the push of another nail. The string does bend sideways, but no part of it slips from my fingers.
With respect, you don't know what you're asking for.
Let me find out then. You're right, and that's the point. I know that I don't know anything, but I also know that I want what I don't know. Laurel's laugh rises the hairs on the back of my neck. My skin prickled all over.
Why, that was almost Socratic.
Thank you. I grin. Are they finally beginning to take me seriously? I'm a regular philosopher. After a moment of letting everything sink and return to the string figure in my hands, holding it up for scrutiny. Are you seeing this? Cool, right?
Cool.
Laurel lifts my chin with the sharp tip of their pointer finger, startling a wide-eyed gasp from me. A roll of their wrist brings the nail to rest along the bottom lip, tugging the flesh. I flick my tongue out and Laurel watches me with open hunger. They skirt their nail forward, slipping their finger into my mouth. I close my eyes obediently, shivering at the cold intrusion.
I've seen worse attempts at winning this game.
My eyelids flutter, but I hold myself together. Got this. They taste like clean skin and something indescribable. And I have to wonder if it's the flavor of undeath taking center stage. My next words are muffled. Cut me some slack. I don't even know if this figure I made has a name. Kind of looks like an Eiffel Tower, but not. Laurel slips their finger free and traces a quick pattern along my cheek. Their nail a calligraphy pen, my own saliva the ink. Let's call it the lighthouse. You mean it's new? It could be. Never seen that figure in all my years of playing this game. He reaches for crosshatched segments of string, pinching 2 points after contemplating his approach.
Do you understand now what we're doing here?
Actually, no. Building together? Playing with string? Oh. Okay, it's pretty obvious we're playing with string, but I feel like we're not supposed to say that. This one's like really weird. I don't know. I'm scared. We haven't like asked about anything in the room or anything like that. That's weird. We're talking about other stuff and not like them. I guess building together? That's what this is about, right? Using each other to sculpt pretty things?
And placing each other into difficult positions.
Okay.
My next figure won't be easy because of what you've made.
I glanced down at Laurel's fingers, blinking in confusion. I could have sworn they were pinching 2 totally different points only moments ago. As if he's had to second guess himself. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Why apologize when you can be proud of yourself instead?
I wet my lips for the millionth time tonight. I'll remember that. Whoa. I stare flabbergasted at Laurel's form of elaborate string figure out of purple chaos. The intricate symmetry of this new design amazes me. How? There, see?
You pushed me, and something beautiful came out of it.
Okay. I weigh their words, turning them over in my mind. Whoopsie. There's so much more I want to know about them. Where to even begin? Who taught you how to play? Where did you learn how to play? You know what? I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna find out anyway. So we might as well just ask, where did you learn? Where did you learn how to play? The quiet moment that passes between us feels heavy with consideration.
I learned on a miserable island among displaced men who wove string for a living. Refugees, reformers, a massacred people who fled one world over conflicts about the next. Endlessly funny to me now, considering they were all wrong about what a world after death can look like.
A world after death.
My father thought his beliefs made him different from the others. Different enough to take my mother for a wife. But not different enough to stay with her when the boredom set in. My skill with string kept my mother and I afloat, however. I was good at the trade, and so my father remained somewhat good to me.
And I, in turn, was good to her. Laurel holds his hands out. I sit back, too fascinated to consider my next play. Notable change of pace, the shift towards sincerity. It's something I shouldn't take for granted, not from them.
Though I scared her, she loved me through life, death, and life a second time.
She was a vampire too? Oh, Beafo? I hope I said that right. She called me until she understood I was something else. Now that rings a bell. As a researcher of all things supernatural and paranormal, I'm nothing if not thorough in my exploration of legend and folklore. Obeafo, West African vampire. Your mom thought you were an evil spirit, an eater of despair? Did you turn her? I don't try to hide the fluttery satisfaction I feel at the look of surprise softening Laurel's sharp features. At first,
And even then, she let me live with her in comfort, provided I fed only from men who deserved it.
yes. Whoa, that's pretty cool of her. Your smile makes me want to smile too. What a strange night.
She was an incredible woman.
I bet. A lot of vampire origin stories are tragic. The whole I'll never go back to my old life sob story. Hell, I admit to writing some myself. Laurel laughs. I hope that it's with intrigue and not offense. Sob story? No.
You might call mine one of liberation. I was going to die, and badly. Stabbed at a pub that now sells boutique kitchenware. I would have bled out over better wages for silk weavers had my sire not saved me. You won't find my name in the archives, however. History can be trusted as much as those who tell it can be.
I listen intently to Laurel's stories, fully invested, but there's more I want to glean. I pick at the details, craving more. Were you turned in England somewhere? England. Your sire saved you? Your sire saved you. Laurel hums, thinking back on his death. Altruism may not have motivated her, but I consider myself rescued, yes.
Maybe I'll tell you more about her some other time.
Okay. I will wait. And Ilyas and Valeria? What about them? How did you three meet? Oh my gosh! Go. Like, was it love at first sight, but for vampires? Did you just know?
Love at first sight. Well,
More like irritation at first sense. I heard of their illustrious work before I set eyes on them. Smelled the blood running thick through the streets.
oh yes, Storyville was mine for a time. I didn't much care for the rest of New Orleans, but the district, that was my home. And all the pretty little bedfeathers who pleased ill-tempered blue bookers for a living were mine to shelter, mine to protect.
Lucky for Illy and Val, they left my pretty feathers alone and escaped obliteration by delirium because of it. In fact, I was unusually kind in return for the restraint. Overloaded them with pleasures you can't begin to fathom. Gave them a good time before I engineered a proper introduction. Yes, I heard. Back up a second. Explain the whole gave them a good time thing. We know what it was.
I can bend neuromodulatory networks to my will. It's the vampiric gift my sire gave me.
Nice. Not telekinesis, that's Val's treat, but pathokinesis, the ability to manipulate others' emotions. So cool.
And I do get a kick out of using it.
I bet. You did that to them. Mess with their feelings. Weren't you scared of starting some sort of vampire Super Smash Brawl? It would have been 2 against 1.
Customary for vampires to test strangers invading their domain. We can be very territorial creatures.
And how did that work out for you? I didn't expect Illy to respond to my push by fucking Val in the middle of a well-to-do square.
But I can't say I didn't enjoy watching from my window.
Oh my gosh. I went to hide my face. I'm just that embarrassed. But also hot.
I kissed Illy first. Men like that require unsubtle guidance.
Huh. He was eager and Val was a force. I took them both to my bed and found myself fulfilled in ways no mortal could handle. We left the city together after I ensured my pretty feathers would be cared for. Is he talking about birds?
And I've been stuck with these beasts ever since.
Laurel exhales and holds his hands out to me.
That's quite enough, don't you think? My fangs are itching to pierce all that pretty flesh you have on display.
Finish the game strong. I want complexity, a design worth remembering. It hits me when then that this is it. That I'm going to die after the figure is complete. Am I going to come back? Are you going to make me a vampire like you? Laurel considers me, their gaze unreadable. My heart pounds.
Show me your goodbye.
I take a deep breath, then I consider all points of conversion in the string before me. Here goes nothing. Tie your wrists together, make a cat's cradle, make a spider web. Why don't we just go back to the beginning? Isn't that how the game is played anyway? Looking at Laurel's elaborate string figure makes me realize that I can't do much. It's not complex, but maybe it'll be remembered? I loop my fingers over and under, twisting my wrists and pinching the points needed to pull the figure into existence. It's slow-going, careful work. I nearly lose my design in this constricting mess. After all my effort, a figure emerges. It's messy and hardly the work of a master. But the cat's cradle is there for us both to see. Laurel surveys my work, then flicks his eyes up to mine, watching me closely.
A bed for a newborn.
Poetic, right? As poetic as a nursery rhyme. And you still want me Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I stopped. Go.
You still want me to take you apart.
Calm down. I lick my lips, exhaling a shuddering breath. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm here for. Laurel takes a step back.
I think you've spent enough time in that chair. Don't you?
I guess.
On your knees.
Oh my gosh! They tap the spot. Oh my gosh. They tap a spot on the rug with the tip of their boot here before me. I shudder. This is it. Yeah. I do as I'm told, sliding forward from the chair. Okay. I'm surprised when Laurel catches me by my upper arms, easing me down to soften the impact on my knees. Don't be so eager to hurt yourself. One of his hands finds the nape of my neck. At the guiding pressure of a gentle tug, I shuffle forward on my knees until my nose grazes the cool leather, hugging one of his thighs. I exhale a shaky breath when they lift my chin on and our eyes meet.
Not when I can do that for you. Would you like that?
No, I want it to be as painless as possible. I don't know what you mean. Yes, I want to feel alive at the end. I don't care, just say yes to anything, I don't care. Yes, that's part of it, right? The pain of being fed on. I'm ready for whatever you want to do to me. I want to feel alive at the end. Laurel does squeeze my throat then, and suddenly I'm airborne. I'm flying. My knees rising from the floor as he lifts me by the neck. The stress on my body makes me gasp. And I don't like it. Shut up. We like it. Don't.
Ah, there. That look. That sensation.
Yeah. I missed the sight of a good bruise forming on my own flesh. The black and blue stamp of a limit tested. Of passionate terror and terrifying passion. Ugh. No way, am I dying? No! I gasp, rattling a hard-earned breath deep into my lungs. My belly aches with the dull thrum of croaking arousal. Your eyes are watering already? This won't be anything close to what you're used to. We are far beyond safe, sane, and consensual. No stir word or snap of your fingers will save you once I get started. I'm gonna die! There's an indulgent menace to their voice that I haven't heard before. It excites me to a delirious degree.
Say it. Tell me you want this.
I thought I did. Oh no! I don't hesitate. My voice comes out strained but full of conviction. Oh! I want that. Laurel smiles, and a distinctly unnatural deluge of emotions flood my insides, glowing hot and syrupy thick. The sensation coats the walls of my throat like a gulpful of molasses, choking off my startled yelp. My head falls back like a sack of flour, useless. Even as I see white, I know my uncomprehending eyes are blown as round and wide as dying stars. I'm as limp as a rag doll in Laurel's arms as he lowers my back onto the floor, his voice a distant yet somehow soothing whisper.
Let your amazing commence.
What? I'm stripped bare in seconds, peeling out of suffocating layers of fabric like overripe fruit. I'm overloaded before he touches me again, shining with sweet under red eyes that glow like lit coals in a dark sauna. What is happening right now? Pathokinesis, Laurel's power. It's heaving, oppressive heat and whirlwind haze. It must be that.
Ah, delicious.
Laurel strokes my cheek, the long nail of his thumb grazing my cheekbone. Now pay attention, listen closely. Any bruising will disappear during the turn, but wherever I open your skin and let your blood run, you'll have a scar for a keepsake. Really? Would you like a souvenir etched into your flesh? I need a few panting seconds. The process that they're letting me join them. Oh. But the sudden snap of Laurel's clawed fingers inches from my nose anchors me.
Speed.
Oh! Words. Wait. What am I at? What? I forgot already. No. Yes. Good. I'll be sure to raise a fetching one. The first hint of sweet, sweet pain comes in the form of a resounding slap that echoes in my brain like a lightning strike. The smack of the tender flesh of my inner thigh startles and stings, but the tingling ache left behind holds my attention. This is like... Before this decision can fade, Laurel follows up with another to the same spot, and I jolt, my thighs widening eagerly. You won't have to fear much, but fire will haunt you. Fire? Laurel soothes the sting in my thighs with the rubbing palm, spreading heat from the impact higher and higher. They loom forward then, purple lips hovering inches from my own parched mouth. I start to lift my head, chasing the kiss waiting for me, but they grab my throat and hold me down.
I'll show you what it feels like to burn.
Okay. And oh, do I ever. Time fractures, split between sharp stinging smacks along the fattier parts of my body, until I've none of those left. I'm a squirming, fidgeting mess, radiating heat from splotchy welts that make me jump and shudder when touched. Laurel's harsh open slaps meld into the whip of a leather tongue at the end of his riding crop, and the yelps turn into helpless whimpers as he leaves what must be laddered of bruises under my top. It's like nothing I've ever felt, further than I push myself. I can't get away no matter how hard I try. And I do try, even though the thought of truly getting away disappoints me. They drag me back with a knowing laugh every time, and I shudder and pant even harder when their fangs skim my lower belly, tongue skirting around where I want it most. Sorry. When they finally look at me, I whine and sob, cracks spidering through my blistering mind. Oh, that first part is a little... But y'all got it though. Stomach cramping from the force of my pleasure. But even through the mind-wiping haze, I feel it, the puncture. So sloshy in my ear. A single poke at the muscle at the inside of my thigh, followed by swiftly by two more. My mind can't make sense of the sharp sting beyond that. It's deep, too deep, and dark enough to light my body up with a desperate animal fear. A newer, thicker liquid joins the sticky mess at my lower half, and the sudden pressure of Laurel's mouth on my thigh snaps my world back into brutal focus. You're what? Beating on me. It's happening. My femoral artery pumping thick, hot blood that they gulp down with inhuman hunger. A hunger I hope I'll know soon. Finally, after what feels like an age of hovering near the edge of a second precipice, Laurel throws their upper body upright with a heady gasp of satisfaction. I follow him with slitted eyes, my body riddled with fatigue, my mind faded fast. There he lunges, my unrepentant killer, beautifully sated. Picture? This looks... Oh! I can only fight to breathe as I stare back at them, dragging ragged wisps of monkey hair in and out with slowing effort. How do I...
Taste. Sweeter for the time we'll spend together when you wake.
Laurel looks at the streaks of blood staining his mouth, and I'm oddly comforted. Oh. Oh my gosh. They look like real people. It's so surreal. Now, no more talking. Save your strength for your last meal as a human. Sure. He raises his wrist and bites, and my heart flutters with gratitude. Or maybe that's just my body dying. I widen my mouth as best I can when Laurel passes their hand over my lips, and the trickle varnishes my tongue like warm syrup over a delectable treat.
There's a good little hatchling. Swallow for me, pretty one.
I'm a naked wreck, bruised and utterly devoured, but I do. I swallow with all that I have left. And then I'm suddenly on the move, vaguely aware of being carried. Something soft rises up to meet my back, and it's only as I drift into dreamland that I'm aware of the pillow cradling my head. Laurel smiles down at me as the shadowy edges at my vision closes in.
Safe journey.
That was so... that was so interesting. Really. It's that feeling when you started to wake up 5 minutes before your alarm goes off. The prelude of consciousness with the desperation to stay asleep. My fingers twitch and I blink as if stuck in the middle of a REM cycle as my senses slowly return. I can smell Laurel all over me, citrusy and rich. My new ears tune into the skittering of animals outside. Basically the same thing as before, and before that. There's a couple of things I can no longer feel too. There's no heartbeat. I can't feel the sleepy warmth of the bedsheets, and there's a distinct lack of warmth to my body. Even so, it's a peaceful sort of awakening. I only wrote about it on my website, but experiencing it is something else entirely. It's serene and calming. The events of my last human day come back to the forefront of my mind. Everything. I remember it all. From entering the house, to meeting the vampires, to the interview, to Laurel's bedroom, and finally to the turning. I take a moment to embrace it all. Finally, I open my eyes. Hello. Laurel enters the corner of my vision. They must have been right next to me this whole time.
There you are.
Here I am. They say it fondly, like an old friend welcoming me home. Laurel circles around the bed, stopping at the bottom end. They playfully lean over, head resting on laced fingers, letting me see them clearly in all their majesty. A smirk graces their lips as they watch me, but I don't quite follow. I blink my confusion when our eyes meet, and it's only as they pass their gaze down to my body that I fully register the cause of their amusement. These bindings. Familiar purple string links my wrists together in front of my body. My ankles are secured to each other by yarn as well. Across my chest, thighs, and arms are a series of intricate and beautiful knots. Crisscrossed and decorative, more purple wrapped around my body. Planning on opening this present anytime soon? Laurel smiles wider in response. He's shibari'd me while I was dead. I struggle slightly, testing the strength of my restraints, but there's really no need. I'm comfortable, extremely comfortable. So much so that I didn't even notice I was tied up. It feels like another layer of clothing. Maybe even better than the pile of my clothes left discarded on the floor. I take a moment to admire my brand new vampire body, gift wrapping and all. I look fucking hot. An evolution I've been admiring for 3 days. I'm gonna sleep for 3 days?
Dead. You've been deceased for 3 days.
Nice. Is that normal?
Yes.
For most children. As they speak, they glide back to the front of the bed and sit before me. I can actually sense the affection they have for me. Filling and rich. I contentedly bask in the feeling. Bringing their hands to my cheek, they gently stroke my newly cooled flesh. pat on the head follows, and it should feel condescending, but instead I feel only comfort. I lean into their touch, the experience unlike anything I felt before. Everything is sharper, so much clearer now. Really though? Are you just gonna leave me like this? Of course. They let their words hang in the air.
Why don't you break free for me? Show me that new body of yours.
Anything for you. I do feel stronger, a lot stronger. Use that newfound strength, hatchling. I begin to pull my wrist apart, and the string frays in warning. I stop momentarily looking up at Laurel. But she puts so much work into tying me up so nicely.
Not to worry. I've got a scrapbook bursting with photos already.
Oh my gosh. And we have all the time in the world now to perfect the pattern. Continue. I nod, finishing the job with ease. It takes less than a second to shred the yarn from my wrists, chest, ankles, and the rest of my body apart, with the inhuman strength coursing through my newly fortified veins.
Very good.
Thank you. I try my best. Laurel stretches their hand for me to take, and I gladly accept. He guides me out of the bed, and I finally see Valerian Ilyas, standing at the corner of Laurel's room. Hi. Hello. How long have they been there? Forever. Too long. Rude. Taking your swing time like that? Laurel's been planning quite the surprise for you. Is it party hats again? They barely left your side this whole time. Yeah, it was gross. Shut up, Ilyas. I think you mean cute. There it is. That's my blood talking. Enough bickering for now. We have all eternity to rile each other up.
Today is your first day as a vampire. And as such, it's time for us to perform the official vampire welcoming ceremony.
Give me the confetti and the party hats now. What are you talking? Valeria elbows Ilyas to quiet him. Before we start, I need you to close your eyes. Okay. Party hat, party hat, party hat. What are you doing?
Now, open your eyes.
I love the party hats. I put a hand over my mouth. Are those rainbow party hats? Valeria and Ilyas are holding a parchment of some sort, which they slowly unroll for my viewing pleasure. It's been taped together in several places, the inky smudge marks from their written message adding an especially endearing touch. But one thing is clear though, the bad handwriting.
Happy birthday!
I love the party hats. That's my favorite part. After an unexpected celebratory vampire birthday moment, Laurel ushers the others away to let me have some time alone. I stretch my hands up to the ceiling, attuning myself to the newfound potential coursing through me. Last night, 3 nights ago, Laurel made me feel amazing with their powers. I wonder what unique power lives in my body now. I'm an actual vampire now, a real-life blood-sucking fiend. Saying the words out loud makes it feel 10 times more real, and instantly I know what I should do next. Thinking of Ilyas, Valeria, and Laurel standing together, it hits me that my entire life has changed in ways I couldn't possibly fathom. Everything I thought I knew, all the things I held dear, all of that's behind me now. And yet the thought is strangely appealing. My stomach flutters, and my chest tightens, but the tears that spring to my eyes don't feel like any sort of grief at all. It feels like a new beginning, and just maybe, belonging. And then we get our first drink. Fiend! Well done. I did do it, didn't I? What an accomplishment I've made. We have all the pictures now, but we don't have all the deaths. I'll do that later. Dying is quite easy, but not for those two for some reason. Anyways, that was First Bite. I finished it finally. The only other thing is that I have the DLC Bad Blood. If you guys are interested in that, I will play it. Just let me know. But oh my gosh, I'm so happy I finished it. I'm like super ecstatic about it. If you guys enjoyed it, of course, leave a like. You know what to do. And subscribe for more of this. And I always forget. And if my dog is barking, I might as well just wrap it up. With all that being said, I will see you guys next time.